Hi, my name's Connor. I'm the head of marketing here at Caffeinate Digital, and here I have with me Sam Martin from Brown's Dairy.
I'm here against my will.
Don't listen to him, he's just fine. So the first question was, where does the milk actually come from?
No one actually knows.
Okay.
Trucks just rock up every day. No, so we've got about 50 farms down south.
Oh wow!
Southwest.
Okay.
So there's trucks do rock up from them basically every day, pretty much 24/7. So
yeah, wow.
About 50. Yeah.
One of my weird things about Browns and these big brands is that everyone assumes they only do one thing. So when you say like, oh right, we do not just milk but Orange C and all the choc milks and yogurts and custard and things like that as well. How exactly do you make people aware of that other stuff and try and not step away from your main product, I suppose, but how exactly is it that you maintain the brand presence across different categories?
It's really tricky, because we're in pretty much every dairy category there is, which makes us quite unique as a business. Like not a lot of other dairy players are across as many different things as we are. But so it is super difficult because most other players will be able to put all their marketing budget into just milk or whatever, whereas we've got to split it across all of it. But a big part of it is talking about the milk itself and where it comes from, because it's all dairy. So there's the same milk in all of it. It's just treated slightly differently. So once you talk about the goodness of milk, like how healthy it is, and then all the different weird and wonderful things you can do to it, then there's a natural talk about brand equity, I suppose. Like we have a really strong master brand in the Brown's Dairy brand, being 130 years old or whatever. And that we found that has an overarching impact on the things we're known for in milk, we're automatically known for in other dairy categories.
Well, as you've said, there's probably other suppliers who work with just milk.
Yeah.
How exactly, because a lot of businesses who are operating in the same industry, maybe they're trying to provide the same service or product, what's the point of difference apart from longevity? So, I mean, a lot of it would be the authority. So you guys have been in business over 130 years?
Yeah,
Or is it 130 like this year?
No, it's 134, I think.
Yeah, right, which is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
So like you guys were like the first ones in WA to pasteurize milk, have an actual centre for it and things like that. I mean, apart from the authority that you guys have, how is it that you guys speak to your point of difference, I suppose?
I guess it really is being across that many categories. It is the point of difference. So it's pretty hard to be in all those categories, but not to try and toot our own horn, but we try and, I guess quality is a massive thing for us. So we try and every category we're in, we try and be the highest quality in there. So it's about having credentials in dairy. So we like to think we do dairy pretty good, but it's then if we're going to make yogurt, we make it as good as we possibly can. Like we're not the cheap yogurt. We're not the also not the super fancy, all the sort of stuff. Like we're really good yogurt, and
it's nice not to have to compete on price as well. So if you guys can come in and say, well, look, we're not trying to have a race to the bottom. We want to provide the best thing. People love hearing that. You're just like, no, we're just trying to give you the best thing possible, and people are willing to pay more for that, I suppose, which is great.
To a point. So they're like, we're not allowed to charge $20 for a small tub of yogurt, and we wouldn't. Like it's about doing the highest quality at a everyday price as well. So it's consumers rightly expect that they get quality in everything, and they don't expect to have to pay more for it. Like if you're good at what you're doing, you should be able to do it at an appropriate price as well. Like it shouldn't have to cost a massive amount, which is a really big part of what we try and do, is make sure that we deliver on what they expect, but then don't charge them what is a fair value. And it's really, that's really important to us.
That's fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
Jeez, try. There's nothing really negative in there, is there? That's just real good.
Well, so we actually have a milk carton on all of our desks that the team go through each year, and we put kind of the values of the company and what we're going to live.
Oh, okay.
And being our customers' most valued dairy supplier is one, and that's the first one.
So it's like a milk carton that just has all this
Literally,
stuff written on it.
That's
really cool.
It's got all this sort of stuff on it, and it's basically the idea is everything we do has to match up to one of the things on that milk carton. So if you're sitting there and you're going like, why am I doing this? Well, you pick up the milk carton, you look at it, and if it doesn't line up with any of the goals or the values or the things that we try and do as a business, you go, okay, why am I doing it? And it sounds really corny and like a marketing thing.
It does, but that's probably pretty good, right?
It's if you actually treat it seriously and you look at it through that and you go, does this actually fit with what we're trying to be as a business? And if it does, great, you keep going. And if it doesn't, you go, well, why are we doing it then? Like you find it's like a really good way of, I guess, making sure your resources are being streamlined to the right thing.
Next question. How do you keep milk fun? How do you make milk sexy? Because I know we're talking to families, it's an everyday requirement.
Yeah.
How do we keep it fun? Like, I know at the moment that you guys are talking about, I think you have a Wiggles promotion going on, or that might have just finished. But it will be done by the time this comes out, sort of thing. But
yeah, so I guess the focus of our master brand is around families and kids, and so it's doing what's a lot of the people in the business are mums themselves, so they look at everything through the lens of what's right for my kids, and I'm obviously not a mum, so that makes it pretty difficult for me. But but looking at it from that perspective, so it's for kids and for families. So then I guess the way you can inject fun or make it interesting is then by what you turn it into. So like chill flavored milk is inherently fun. Like we just get to take the piss out of things. Everyone that drinks has got a sense of humour. Like they don't take things too seriously. And then with, say, our yogurt pouches, like we've got our flavour cows on them, and they're all doing fun things. We've got some fun flavours. Like we try and inject candy flavours in there, but just using good ingredients. So they're all like using natural grape flavours to make a bubblegum flavour. So you're not making grape yogurt, you're making bubblegum, or you're making like marshmallow, which might be a couple of other, just natural
elements
flavorings.
that taste.
But
sure.
Together, when you put them together, you can make a marshmallow. And then for a kid, like marshmallow is way more exciting than like, hey, it's slightly sweet vanilla. Yeah. Like it's, so you do it, you kind of look at it how a kid would want to see it. And then some of them just sell themselves, like, Yogo, everybody loves Yogo. So and it's fun, so that stuff's easier. Milk it's very hard to make milk fun. But I guess the way we try and rather make it fun, like keep it relevant, is by changing the labels whenever we can. Not changing the core visuals of the label itself, but so for Christmas, being Santa labels. So we've got we've got Santa on a surfboard with a quokka, and it's just kind of staying in touch with what's going on at the time.
You guys do a lot with the WA community in general. I mean, you're in the community, and what's the process for taking in feedback and adjusting that? Because it is, I think, a lot of people in WA would have some feeling of ownership over the Browns brand. I mean, obviously, and like you say, the employees in Browns, they buy in and they love the brand, right? And I think people in WA too. Ever since anyone goes and does the tour at the factory when they're a kid, I think everyone here has done that. Yeah. And that was always like a fun thing that everyone's like, oh man, are they still doing the tours? Do we still get the hats? I think someone said there were some hats that used to be along with it, and I think everyone sort of goes like, oh yeah, Browns is WA. So how is it that you guys manage to continue that conversation and sort of?
Yeah, I guess it probably comes back to saying about, I guess, a flat management structure. Like it means that every piece of feedback and every discussion really doesn't have to travel that far to get to the CEO or the CFO or whatever it is. So from customer to decision maker is a really flat process. And so myself, I manage most of the social media, all those conversations, all the posts and everything. It's all one person, and then
it's pretty direct.
Comments and so and we don't necessarily respond as a person, but it means all those conversations are being had with people that actually make those decisions or can help lead that conversation. So then I guess people can remember and they value when you talk to them about, difficulty with a particular packaging type or...
One of the examples that I saw, which I think was on your site, is you guys used to have plastic spouts in some of your older cartons, and then everyone was just like, oh, we don't really need that plastic, or it made it difficult for some people to open, I think even as well, they didn't enjoy it. And so you guys were like, yep, guys, we heard you, here we go, here's the new packaging without the plastic on it. And everyone's like, oh, that's fantastic, we didn't know our voice could be heard. And you guys were like, we're listening, which is great. I think a lot of people appreciate that.
Yeah, and that was a really interesting case because we'd sort of looked at that, and it was looking at some usage occasions for some of our products, and from some research and some discussions we did, overwhelmingly the feedback was that carton, or the 1 litre cartons, needed to be more convenient, or that's what we were sort of told from that research. So it needed to be resealable, it needed to be better for pouring, So natural progression with that was to put the lids on, because that's kind of the only thing you could do to a carton. But it was just a case of that, I guess, that insight being wrong, which totally happy to accept. And I was like, no, we don't want this. We want less plastic. Like the convenience thing still came into play, but in a different way. I'm like, okay, we'll get rid of them then. And then we made a plan to run them out so that we didn't end up ditching any, and then we just swapped them back. Biggest thing for us was we got the 1 litres get used a lot more by older people, and then they just couldn't open the top. And my nan, like, I copped it from her for weeks when we changed it, and she's a dangerous lady to cross.
Yeah, right.
So
gets the slipper out.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we got lots of feedback like that, and then okay, well, it's, you know, we've created a barrier to entry for a whole group of consumers, which we need to undo. So, and again, the process from getting that feedback to making that decision is very, very flat. And we gave the feedback, you know, messages directly to the CEO and went, look, they don't like it, we need to change it back. And he said, cool, let's do it.
During the past couple of months, this year's been pretty mad. Yeah. And with COVID in general, a lot of businesses have had to pivot. You guys did something special.
A little bit, yeah. Like all our team got sent home basically. But we got a lot of feedback from customers that they were struggling to get milk from supermarkets, and there were like rumours going around we'd run out, and the main problem was that supermarkets were just getting run off their feet, and they weren't having time to restock shelves, which is why you're seeing all the empty shelves and
all
stuff.
The toilet paper, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. And we were just like, this is crazy. Like, what can we do in this scenario? And kind of, we'd always wanted to do some kind of home delivery model to look at, I guess, increasing our connection with consumers. And it's sort of something the company's always done, you know, back in the day as part of our history. And then sort of thought there's never a time it's needed more than now. So we kind of, our sales marketing director, Nat, kind of sent an email out like 11:30 at night, and us all being lame as we are, we were all on our emails and got the email, and then she was like, just want to explore what we could do with a home delivery model in this kind of environment. And then kind of over the process of a week, myself and Jules and Jeremy, another one of our guys, basically lived like frat boys for a week and tried to think how we were going to create this digital sales channel out of nowhere, and figure out, between building an online store to the logistics with the guys out the back in the factory, how we're going to do it all safely. It was the most intense period of our lives, definitely. Like, we were at work for, on some days, probably 20 hours of the day.
Wow.
Yeah, there were people who were not in good with their partners over that period, but
you guys are the milk heroes now.
Maybe not milk heroes, but we helped.
Milk heroes, yeah.
So we ended up building this model and then started doing home deliveries.
And so you guys have a website for that, right?
Yeah.
Do you know the URL off the top of your head?
homedelivery.brownsdairy.com.au.
There you go, guys.
Yeah, subdomain, but yeah.
You know what? I should know that, being in the marketing field.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Browns, do you guys sing the Coffee Chill song all day?
Yes. So I enjoy torturing my colleagues with it.
Oh, right.
Because it will get stuck in their heads as you've been wandering around singing it all morning. Yes, I have it as my ringtone, my work ringtone. And
that's commitment to the cause. I like that.
Yeah. And we actually we did a big campaign a couple of years ago when we sort of relaunched the retro packaging, and we actually put up instructions online how to make it your ringtone. Uploaded it, and like 700-800 people set it as their ringtone. So I felt wonderful about inflicting that upon WA. But
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So that, but we also have like a lot of really catchy Wiggles jingles that we've done for. It seems to be our thing, like making really annoying jingles. So everyone's humming one of them at some point, but the Coffee Chill's easily the favourite.
Annoying and catchy is a very fine line, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we were speaking before, essentially, you said your favourite ad was that Browns Chill ad where we have all the baristas, they're packaging it up and like pouring the milk into the cup, and then they're like putting a conveyor belt on the way out. Yeah. And it's like, that one's, I think, when we first started doing these, the review videos, someone said to me, oh, do you know the Coffee Chill song? And I was like, I got no clue what you're talking about. And then someone's like, what? You've like, surely
Yeah.
you've got to remember this. And then it was like immediately, like someone showed me the video. I was like, oh my God, yeah, we've got to include this. Like, it's fantastic.
Everyone remembers it. Like, they might not remember it off the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually met some of those guys. We got them to come back and do an interview for that campaign.
Really? Wow.
And they're like, they have not changed. They're like, yeah, they're pretty cool.
They still have all the facial hair? It's like...
Different facial hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool guys though.
Oh, that's awesome.
They sort of rolled them out as celebrities and got them to do an interview, and yeah, it was really cool. Like, because
That's really fun. That's good. That's a fun day.
they're like closest thing to Brown's royalty we have, really. So it was cool to get them out. And then we actually got the guy that does the voiceover at the end to come out and do the voiceover of the ad we did at the time.
Yeah, right.
Same guy still does voiceovers, same voice, and we were just like sitting in the booth of this dude, and we're like, this is amazing. Like it was unreal.
Because that's had a heap of longevity, that one. I think that's the most catchy, not annoying, the most catchy tune you guys ever came up with. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
And it's from, I think my favorite thing about it is it's just from another age. Like, it's from that almost the golden age of advertising. Like, it's, I think that came out in the 80s, late 80s, maybe early 90s.
Well, that ran for a long time.
It did, yeah. It ran for a very long time.
I didn't realise that's when it started, because I just remember seeing it on TV.
But it's something about those old ads, like, you just get this, they feel different. They're just, there's nothing like them anymore.
I think it's that that golden sort of like halo that you get around those memories that are just like, oh yeah, they just lead you to the warm and fuzzies, like, you know, when you used to watch Cheese TV in the morning before school and things like that, you know, it's like, that's around the time that I remember, which is, that's very cool.
Yeah.
If you had to come up with a new flavour of milk, what would it be? Now, remembering that you've now said you need to use organic substitutes to make flavours like bubblegum or marshmallow and things like that. So you can be a little bit...
So I'm not going to reveal my actual dream one, because I am actually working on it. So I don't want to give that one away. But my dream is, so we did a bit of a like April Fool's thing last year so we have a really good relationship with the guys at Spud Shed and Team Galati. So we kind of partnered with them to do basically announce a Spud Chill. In a collab
potato flavoured.
Yeah, a collab with Tony Galati, and it went off on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, I think we reached like 1 million people, thousands of likes, and it was incredible. And I was like, we've got to make this. Like, there's got to be a way we can do a limited batch run of this and somehow make it taste good. You know, like, there's potato and gravy flavoured milk or whatever. Like, someone's got to do this for me. So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, is the packaging going to be confusing, or is it going to be different from the other packaging that
Well, it would have to be Spud Shed green, obviously.
It'd have to be green. We're going to lean into the green?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's so many different shades of green, it's really easy to distinguish them.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. I disagree. I think there's a blue one as well that was that specific to WA as well?
Yeah. So we had...
Like, that didn't seem to me like part of the choc chill mix, because blue was like way out of like the colour spectrum of what you guys had.
That's the normal iced coffee. So I changed it back to its original packaging when we did all the retro stuff, which is like I guess another brown colour,
Do they still sell those ones?
Yeah.
They're still knocking around?
It's the end one.
Oh, okay, because there's one where we have it where it's totally blue as well, right? Rather than black and blue?
That's that one.
That is that one.
But it's it's now changed.
What is your favourite Browns product?
Mocha Chill.
Oh, that was a super quick answer.
Yeah. That was basically why I got the job, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I pretty much walked into the interview with one empty one, and I was like, I go through at least 2 of these a day at the moment. Like, I was the kid in school that had Mocha Chill in one hand and a Dirt Dessert Yoga in the other.
Yeah, right.
And I was somehow like dual wielding these delicious products. Yeah. So
people trying to buy you off at the canteen for your yoga and things like that.
So I used to... I shouldn't admit this. Sorry, Mum and Dad. I used to like steal money from their coin jar so that I could fund my mocha addiction, because young child didn't really have all that much money to spend, $6 a day on Mocha Chill.
Right. What's up?
Yo.
We will see.
Bring it.
It's on. All right, brilliant. We good? Let's get some glasses. I'm keen to drink some stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, well, this is awkward now. How exactly do I sign off? That was me signing off, was me clapping.
Yeah, we're done now.
The man has said it. That's it. That's all, folks.
That's Looney Tunes.
Yeah, that's exactly why I said it.
You just have the circle close around us.
Yeah,
like some piano riff. Yeah.